My parents were engaged to be married, and my mother wanted to see a Broadway show called Two for Tea, and Tea for Two. And one of the songs was I Want to Be Happy by Vincent Youmans. Well, when my parents had their 50th wedding anniversary, I directed this show for a big outdoor theater at a DuPont estate for 2,000 people for 6 performances. And the Vincent Youmans, who was the composer's son, lived in Wilmington, and he came. So you can't do much better than that. So this is my song from the 20s. I'm a very ordinary girl, trying to make a happy world, doing unto others as I'd like to have them doing unto me. When I find a very lonely soul, to be kind becomes my only goal. I feel so much better when I tell them my philosophy. I want to be happy, but I won't be happy till I make you happy too. Life's really worth living when we are worth giving. Why can't I give some to you? When skies are gray and you say you are blue, I'll send the sun smiling through. I want to be happy, but I won't be happy till I make you happy too. And in the 1930s, the first movie I ever saw was Over the Rainbow, The Wizard of Oz. And Judy Garland was singing. When all the world is a hopeless jumble and the raindrops tumble all around, heaven opens a magic lane. When all the clouds darken up the sky rainbow. Why, oh, why can't I? I was born in this little town in Virginia near the Blue Ridge Mountains. And when I sang the lead in The Sound of Music, I thought about the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia when I was singing. My day in the hills has come to an end, I know, because I had left that Woodstock, that little teeny town, where I was bored to tears. And nothing ever happened of substance. And then it took me a war to get out of Woodstock, because the Second World War began, and my father had been in the cavalry with George Patton was on his polo team, and they got rid of all the horses and started the 2nd Armored Division in Fort Benning, Georgia. So I had to leave the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. So that's why this fits. My day in the hills has come to an end, I know. A star has come out to tell me it's time to go. But deep in the dark green shadows are voices that urge me to stay. So I pause and I wait and I listen for one more sound, for one more lovely things that the hills might say. The hills are alive with the sound of music, with songs they have sung for 1,000 years. The hills fill my heart with the sound of music. My heart wants to sing every song it hears. My heart wants to beat like the wings of the birds that rise from the lake to the trees. My heart wants to sigh like the chimes that fly from a church on a breeze, to laugh as it trips and falls over stones on its way, to sing through the night like a lark who is running to rain. I go to the hills when my heart is lonely. I know I'll go here, I've heard before. My heart will be blessed with the sound of music, and I'll sing once more. Now, there's a song that I sang when I was the lead in The King and I. And it was about getting to know you. And I would like to, instead of playing the piano, for this particular number, I would like to go around and sing for you and getting to know you.
Grab the microphone or not?
No, I'll go from each. I'll sing to each one. It's a very ancient saying, but a true and honest thought, that if you become a teacher, by your pupils you'll be taught. As a teacher, I've been learning. You'll forgive me if I boast, but I've now become an expert on the subject I like most. Getting to know you. Getting to know you. Getting to know all about you. getting to like you, getting to know you like me, getting to know you, putting it my way but nicely. You are precisely my cup of tea. Getting to know you, getting to feel free and easy. But when I'm with you, getting to know what to say. Haven't you noticed? Suddenly I'm right and breezy because of all the beautiful and new things I'm learning about you day by day. Getting to know you, putting it my way but nicely. You are precisely my cup of tea. Now, I'm supposed to sing it in a different key now. I'm trying to think. It's a very ancient saying, but a true and honest thought, that if you become a teacher, by your pupils you'll be taught. As a teacher, I've been learning, you forgive me my boast, for I've now become an expert on the subject I like most. Getting to know you. Getting to know all about you. Getting to like you. Getting to hope you like me. Getting to know you. Putting it my way but nicely. You are precisely my cup of tea. Getting to know you, getting to feel free and easy. When I am with you, getting to know what to say. Haven't you noticed? Suddenly I'm bright and breezy because of all the beautiful and new things I'm learning about you day by day. So I finally got out of Woodstock. I went to Fort.
That was the real Woodstock, by the way. Woodstock, Virginia is the original.
The original, that's right, okay. We lived in Fort Benning, Georgia, Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, Fort Smith, Arkansas, Louisiana and Tennessee maneuvers, and we spent the war years in Nashville, Tennessee. Let me see. My father's first peacetime assignment, and this was after the Second World War and after the Korean War. He was made the commandant of 4,000 GIs in the Veterans Campus at Virginia Tech. And so my sister and brother and I all went to Blacksburg to Virginia Tech. Well, I was the girl singer with the dance band, the Southern Colonels. And I went to the first choir rehearsal at the Presbyterian Church, and guess who I found there? The most handsome, tall Swede, a tenor of all, and his name was Sigurd Swensson. And he was teaching engineering, and he asked me for a date, and I said, well, I'm sorry, Saturday night I already have a date, but you can come for tea on Saturday if you'd like. So he came in, he saw the grand piano and said, oh, do you play? And I said, yes. And so I played an etude by Scriabin, a Russian. And then he said, do you sing too? And I said, yes. So I sang a Ravel, L'Enfant et les Sortilèges. Anyway, that was the beginning. We got married after I graduated from Hollins College. What was this? Okay. But now. Okay, I'll wait. But what I was trying to say is that when I was marrying the librarian in The Music Man, and I sang a song called Till There Was You. Well, he was in every musical production that I was in, either as a singer or a conductor. And he would stand on the back row and in the middle, and I would go, and he'd sing tenor, and I'd go, and he'd go sing bass. I mean, you can't want any better than that. So I called him my music man all my life. He was my music man. Well, the man who sat next to him in the choir had this little comic comment, and he said, you know, your husband is the most henpecked man I have ever known. And I said, well, that couldn't be possible. You know, he's an executive with DuPont, and he's big deal in town. He said, what I mean is, when you tell him to stand up, he stands up. And when you tell him to sit down, he sits down. Well, I was meaning that to the whole choir, but he was making a joke. So, from my song from Meredith Willson's The Music Man is this. There were bells on the hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard it at all till there was you. There were birds in the sky, but I never saw them winging. No, I never saw them at all till there was you. And there was music, and there were wonderful roses. They told me in sweet fragrant meadows of dawn and dew. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was Now, we're almost finished. We've got two more. Now, when I was in Hello, Dolly, you know, that song, Hello, Dolly, is talking about how she is back in town and she wants to really do big things. And so I started singing, it says, medium strut. And then I started thinking, I don't want to sing Hello, Dolly. That doesn't mean anything to you all. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change the name. And I'm going to say Hello, Johnny. How's that? Okay. Now, there's something you all can do for me, because I want to have a little rehearsal, because at the very end, it says, Johnny, I'll never go away. Johnny, I'll never go away. Johnny, I'll never go away again. Now, when we get to that point, can you all sing with me? Okay. You can sing, Johnny, I'll never go away. You sing an octave lower. Okay. But now listen. Hello, Johnny. Well, hello, Johnny. It's so nice to have you back where you belong. looking swell, Dolly, we can tell. Johnny, you're still glowing, you're still growing, you're still going strong. We feel the room swaying while his mom's playing some of her old favorite songs from way back when. So, golly gee, fellas, I believe you me, fellas. Johnny, I'll never go away. Johnny, I'll never go away. Johnny, I'll never go away. Just one more, and it's because John has done so many wonderful things right here in Tampa, and he loves Tampa, and he wants to always stay here. And you know, he has climbed several mountains, and one is that he has climbed the Reeves Mountain, and he sold an awful lot of cars. And he has been at Avila, and he was a golf pro there, and he still plays golf there, and the Carrollwood Golf. He's climbed mountains there too. And now he's climbing the mountain of Can Ice. Yes, and if you don't know about that.
Still the Reeves.
So here's to everybody can climb their own mountain, okay? Low, but here, gets higher. Every mountain, every stream, follow every rainbow, till you find your dream, a dream complete, all the love you can give.
There are two ladies, really three, that have recently celebrated birthdays. So we're going to sing happy birthday to Evelyn, Nancy, Jennifer. I don't know how we're going to do that. But you tell Mom, you tell me you do it. Okay? So Mom, you tell us what to do. I think she's going to play. It's about Nancy.
Everybody, down here, middle C, that's low enough for everybody.
Happy birthday, girls.
Okay. Happy birthday.